Australia FLEAP 2018. What can I say? We had an amazing trip. My initial expectation was the course's main purpose, to learn about the healthcare system and how it differs from the United States. As the trip got closer, I started to create more expectations, such as comparing the foods, diets, and daily life of an Australian, as well as the lingo. So let's not waste any time. Let's get the flashback started and hit some highlights from the trip.
Hey everybody!
Best accident ever!
Hello everyone! Woo! Waiting on our bus to get to the hotel. I know, we made it!
After a little detour, we finally made it to Australia. Woo! We got to meet Petrea and Matt, who would be guiding us while in Australia, and they were truly the funniest pair.
Here we go!
And I saw the spider by the light switch like it was that.
Of course, Petrea had to share some stories about some Australian wildlife, but then we got to see our own.
It's like all the way over there. It's really trying to catch a human. Oh no, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Oh, I can't even.
I overall got the impression that the country really cared about its people and their land. Australia honors its original people with the National Sorry Day and encourages Aboriginals to come to the university. The campus is also very environmentally friendly, having bins for recycling, compost, and landfill, with most of their utensils and plates being compostable. Australians are also overall very nice. I experienced kindness from strangers wherever I went, and especially when I needed help navigating the bus system to Umundi. A bunch of new learning experiences occurred on this trip. I'm talking about cultural learning, environment exploring, and wildlife immersing experiences. I got to attempt to surf, watch an Aboriginal play the didgeridoo, eat a bunch of lollies and freckles, and navigate the bus system. The learning truly never stopped on this trip, and every day came with new surprises. The similarities I noticed in the healthcare system was the availability of public and private hospitals and the need for insurance for treatment. But the biggest difference from Australia to the United States is that all Australian citizens are covered under the universal health insurance called Medicare. This is an amazing thing to consider when things like vaccines, some medications, and doctor's visits could be completely covered by this insurance, making it easier to access medical care. Differences I noticed were that the privacy and security seem to be lower in Australia. In other words, patients don't wear wristbands in the hospitals, charts are not as heavily guarded, and their nursing program does not seem as in-depth as in the United States programs, considering there is barely any exams taken during the course and there is no licensure exam. With this being said, nurses in Australia are able to extend their education to specific units after graduation, such as the ICU. And nurses are still trained with mannequins, just like in the US, for simulated experiences. I was surprised that clinics, similar to our MedExpress at home, had mental health facilities that someone could walk in and talk to a psychologist, making resources very accessible. Blitteram's Men's Shed was one of my favorite sites to visit and is all about men's health and retirement. The shed also creates clubs for activities such as woodshop, toy making, leadwork, and painting. The Royal Flying Doctors Service is used to access poverty-stricken areas in the middle of the country to help Aboriginals, as well as to assist in crisis throughout Australia. How cool! My only suggestions for future FLEAPs would be to allow this trip to be a little longer for more free days. Free days allow for students to explore the country how they wish and really made me feel more immersed in the country itself. I thought the trip had a great balance of educational and fun experiences, creating a trip of a lifetime with some amazing people.
How are you guys feeling? The hiking.
Absolutely incredible.
Thanks for a great trip down under. Cheers!